This happened back in the late 1980s. I must have been about 6 or 7 years old when we moved into the house. My dad and mom were alive back then. Dad's business was doing really well. Apart from me, I had an older sister and an older brother. So 5 family members in total. We moved into a very big house in a city. Let's say Chicago. Remember the exact location because it might help you understand. Near Chicago, there's a very famous old cemetery called Green Oaks Cemetery. Just past the cemetery, there's a quiet neighborhood. Our house was there. It looked like a normal house, not isolated, not strange. The street had good houses all around with families living in them. Our house and the one next to it were bigger than the others. Both had huge gardens behind them. When you entered our house from the garage, on one side there were 2 lawns with a fountain. Behind that was a long porch, and behind the porch was our big garden. From that garden, a long, narrow path ran to the bedrooms, my mom's room, the kids' room where I slept, and at the far end, the servants' quarters. The path also led to the back garden. That back garden was huge. In one corner, there was an old, it was closed with a rusty iron gate covered with moss. We kids often tried to remove the gate and peek inside the well, but we never dared to go in. Around the well, thick bushes and wild plants grew. Even the gardener couldn't clear it properly, so that corner always looked creepy and dark. We're never allowed to go near it. Sometimes the ball we played with rolled there, and we tried to look inside, but no one went in. The biggest bedroom in the house was always locked. Our landlord told us not to use it because it had some old belongings. That room was at the center of the house with its own porch. Some days in the house were good, but from the very beginning, I felt scared at night. I couldn't explain it. There was a strange fear. I want to tell you about one experience I still remember clearly. At night, when we all slept, my brother on one side, my sister on the other, and me in the middle of the big bed. In the middle of the night, I'd suddenly wake up scared. I would feel like something was slowly drifting from the back garden along that narrow path toward the house. I felt where and how it moved. It seemed to stand right outside our window, watching us. I couldn't see it clearly, but I could feel its presence. Sometimes I heard very faint whispers, quiet laughs, or smirks. It felt like it was mocking us, watching and moving around the house as if studying us. When I felt it standing outside my window, I would freeze in fear under the covers. Then I felt it move slowly toward my parents' room window, like it connected with the porch and finally stood at the main entrance. Sometimes it just stood there for a while. My mom felt the same thing one night. She told me she felt like something was coming from the back garden into our room. She said she saw a horrible thing scratching the window with long nails. At first, she kept quiet, but slowly, she got so scared, she started crying and describing it as something evil, laughing and watching her. She would cry like a baby in front of us. It was a Tuesday night, remember, because it was always on Tuesdays. For a whole week, she was okay. Then the next Tuesday, it happened again. At first, she would just get scared, but over time, we noticed her behavior changing. She became different, sometimes laughing strangely, sometimes crying. Her voice sounded heavy and weird, like it wasn't really her. She would collapse, feeling tired and saying something had hit her badly. She would cry like a baby again. After that, my grandmother came to stay with us. Back then, my dad was often away on business trips lasting from 1 to 3 months. When he was gone, we slept with my mom. My grandmother was very religious and strong spiritually. My mom told her about the strange things. My grandmother told her to pray more and read the Bible. But still, the strange things continued. One night, even the driver who lived in the servants' quarters woke up at dawn praying loudly. He later told grandmother that something terrible sat on his chest, warning that if we didn't leave the house, we'd all be in danger. After that, Grandma insisted we leave. Dad, however, refused to believe any of it. He thought Mom was just imagining things or had a mental problem. One night, Dad was reading books late at night in his room, which was connected to ours by a shared bathroom with doors on both sides. The bathroom light stayed on at night. Suddenly, Dad felt like someone whispered in his ear a warning to leave the house or else. At the same moment, the ceiling fan above our bed suddenly fell off, but luckily missed us because our legs were on the other side of the bed. After that, Dad realized something was really wrong. The very next day, we moved out. We never had such problems in any other house, but Mom's health never got better. 5 years later, she passed away. People said the house was haunted, or that black magic was done on Mom and the house. But when I think about it, I believe the house was truly haunted. When we first moved in, I remember a neighbor's son telling me that no one stays long in that house. He said anyone who comes there ends up leaving soon. That scared me for a long time. Even neighbors never talked much about the house's past, but I am sure something evil lived there. That house was a nightmare we never wanted to live in again.